everybody, as promised, this is the final lesson on chords. We'll now drill down to some specifics that you'll need as you navigate through charts and lead sheets, starting with some example chords. Here we go. It's all up to you now. Here are some examples. F sharp diminished 7. That's an F sharp diminished triad with a diminished 7th on top. F sharp, A, C, E flat. Notice it's a stack of minor thirds. E minor 7 flat 5, or E half diminished. The root is E, the triad is diminished, and the 7th is minor. So it's called half diminished, but really the bottom 3 notes are the diminished part. The top note is just a minor 7th. G7 plus 5. It's a G7 chord and sharp the 5th. C7 plus 11. C major triad. The 7th is minor. The extension 11th is raised. A 9th is implied. Voice it left hand C, G, right hand B flat. That's the 7, 9, sharp 11. And if you want the 13, it's up there. D7 plus 9 plus 5, which is one of my favorite chords I learned from Jimi Hendrix. It's got the major third, the sharp 5, the minor 7, and the sharp 9. So you've got that dissonance and this dissonance, the major third and the minor third right there, and the sharp 5 and the minor 7 there, which gives you all that ugliness, which is so beautiful. Sharp 9, sharp 5 chord. You have F sharp, A sharp, C, E sharp, technically, or I like to call it F sharp, B flat, C, F. Great chord. G minor major 7th, or G minor plus 7. This means you play G minor, but not with its usual 7th. It wants the major 7. This chord usually gets sandwiched in between G minor and G minor 7, so you get a descending chromatic moving part. Here it is in Bye Bye Blackbird. Chordal instrument players are constantly having to figure out how to make music out of all the computer-generated letters and numbers that turn up in someone's arrangement of a tune. Here's an example of chords trying to imply a descending chromatic line. Pause the video if you'd like to figure it out on your own. It's C13, C augmented 7, F9 sus 4, F7 flat 9, and B flat major 7. This one has a line that descends from A to F. They're not always as complex as they look. This common progression, B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 flat 9, looks daunting, but only one note moves a half a step from the B, D, F, A to the B, D, F, G sharp. Chords give melodies harmonic context. For example, if I play Mary Had a Little Lamb starting on E and accompany it with a C chord, it sounds correct. But if I change to a D minor chord, makes me want to play differently anyway, but the E is now the 9th of this chord and it sounds much different. Instead of, we have, changes it completely. That's also why you can play a 4-bar phrase on a blues and it will still sound good if you repeat it, because the chord changes on bar 5, giving the melody a whole new perspective. Here are some other things to consider. Most alterations happen on the 5th and the 9th, sharp and flat. Most extended chords are dominant. A suspended chord, sus or sus4, is 145, and a sus2 is 125, basically delaying the resolution of the third. A 1-2-3-5 is not a ninth chord. You have to have some other things that build it up. It's just a major triad, and sometimes it will say add 2 if they want you to add. Well, actually, they might add anything, but if you want a second to be put into a major triad or minor triad, it will just say add 2. And let's not forget sixth chords. They're often substituted for major sevens, and you would use 1-3-5-6 or 3-5-6-1. There are polychords that basically stack one triad on another. Try an A flat, second inversion, triad, over a D, root position triad. It's an interesting approach to adding color to your harmony. It's usually written with a horizontal line between the chords. There are also fraction chords, typically written with a slash. The top is the chord, and the bottom is a single bass note. Try an F major 7 over G in the bass. Sevenths and ninths are pretty much interchangeable. If you're fluent in the A and B positions of both, you'll have 4 choices at the ready when you change chords. In other words, your voice leading and agility improve dramatically. You're going to find redundancy inherent in the chordal system. For example, C6 has the same notes as A minor 7. C major 9 looks like an E minor 7, and so on. So be careful what note you put on the bottom of your chord. It'll change the function and sound of the progression. And finally, for now, remember that with the exception of the last chord of your piece, all chords are in transition, moving from one to another to create tension and resolution. Your job is to make the morph between chords logical and smooth by using inversions, so they don't jump around and move awkwardly. It's a challenge and a great responsibility, because the person driving the harmony can make the vehicle crash or move with beauty. All right, that's a bunch on chords. This is Craig Faniani for the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation, signing off. Thanks for listening.